This great player will forever be a trivia question for Boston Bruins fans. Name the goalie that faced Bobby Orr when Bobby Orr started playing with the Chicago Blackhawks. The first game that Boston played against Bobby Orr, who was the starter. Well, this guy was, and his career was a long shot from to begin with. 142nd overall in a 1973 NHL entry draft, although he came from the great St. Catharines programs of OMJHL. It was a long shot for him to make the NHL, but he did it. 6 feet 185. Jim Pettie, or Pettie, was born in Toronto, Ontario, but again came to Major Providence in the Ontario junior system, and was drafted after a tremendous season with St. Catharines in 73, where he played 56 games in that campaign. Now, he first came to Major Providence by playing at the Quebec Pee Wee Hockey Tournament twice in the mid-1960s with a squad from Toronto. He also played with the Western Dodgers over 2 seasons in the MJBHL and a team called the Downsview Maple Leaf Bombers, great name by the way, of the MOJHL. Now, when he was drafted by Boston, he was sent down to the Dayton Gems of the IHL, where he was there for parts of 3 seasons, and also played with the Broome County Dusters of the NEAHL. Now, was very successful in regular season and playoffs. Again, when he finally made Boston, he won his NHL debut against Bobby Orr. Now, of all things, he roomed with author George Plimpton when Plimpton attended Boston's 1977 training camp to do research for the book Open Net. He was featured prominently in the book, which was published eventually in 1985. After leaving Boston, he signed with the Rangers as a free agent prior to the 1980 season, but never played for the Blue and White. Now, in the minors with Dayton, he won the IHL Turner Cup in 76, IHL All-Star second team in 76, IHL goals against average leader in 74 for Dayton, 2.75, shutouts leader for Dayton 76 with 5. He was the playoffs goals against leader in 75 for Dayton with 2.82. He was the AHL playoffs goals games played leader, 77 with Rochester with 11, and he led. Led Dayton to an IHL regular season title in 76, and he was part of the AHL regular season champion in New Haven in 1980. Now, he missed part of the 1975 season with a broken hand. What was really weird about Pettie, ladies and gentlemen, this may sound kind of bizarre, he was known for taking penalties, of all things. In the 1976 season with the Dayton Gems, he took 145 minutes, and even with Boston of the NHL, he was taking regular penalties. The playoffs for Dayton over 3 years. He went 3 seasons in the playoffs, 29, 15, and 14 penalty minutes, and again with New Haven in 1980, 12 penalty minutes in 2 games, so at least 6 minors. Now, how did he get to the Boston Bruins? Here's what was going on. He played with Rochester in 1977, 25, 15-1 in the regular season. Had a cup of coffee with Boston where he won that game against Bobby Orr. Now, in 78 with the Bruins, he got called up for 1 game again. And in 79, had another good start with Rochester. Unfortunately, it went to seed. He went 0-7-1. Now, you wouldn't think that would get a call up to the big club, but here we go. 19 games with Boston in 79 as sort of Boston's secondary backup to Cheevers and Gilbert. 8-6-2 with a 3.59 average and 1 shutout. Now, you would think they would be into Boston's, like I said, future plans, but eventually signed with the Rangers, with New Haven in 1980, 16, 13, and 3, and 81 with the CHL Birmingham Bulls, the sequel to the WHA version. He had a rough season, ladies and gentlemen, 3-16, and he wrapped up his minor pro career with one game with the Richmond Robins in 1980, where he gave up 7 goals in 1 EHL contest. Now, final NHL totals, 21 games, 1 shutout, with a 9-7-2 or a 2 record. But again, more than just a trivia question, because those times he played in the Quebec International Pee Wee Hockey Tournament, he was on everybody's radar after that. And of course, eventually Boston took him, and he was made famous again by the Plimpton book. Now, I wasn't sure if the Open Net was going to be made into a movie, but there's many write-ups and photo essays of Plimpton's contest. Now, the Boston 1977 training camp was quite interesting. If you read that book, well, you'll know what I'm talking about. Now, unfortunately, Seaweed, as he was called, not because of his stringy hair, he had a beautiful head of hair. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, he left this world way too early, as he died on August 31st, 2019, the age of 65, due to cancer in Rochester, New York. But a very genial guy, well loved by the alumni. But, ladies and gentlemen, 142nd overall, drafted by the Bruins, and a long shot like that go all the way from, again, a 9th round pick, where the 73 draft was light with goalies, all the way from St. Catharines, all the way to playing against Bobby Orr, to hanging with George Plimpton, to being again the second backup in that 79 legacy year where he almost bet Montreal. If he would have won Game 7, he would have won the Cup. His name would be on the Stanley Cup. But it's too bad, like I said. From what I heard, you had quite the stories to tell about, again, the 1970s Boston Bruins. And he was appreciated by all the Bruins fans over the years. So that's the legacy and the legend of Jim Pettie. If you like what we're doing here, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any memories of Seaweed, let us know. We'd like to hear your thoughts on the player that a lot of people felt was the biggest overachiever in Boston Bruins history of the 1970s. Thanks for listening. Bye.